It is 6:01. Let's get right to wildfire season. A level 3 go now evacuation order is still in effect this morning in Klickitat County. This is a live look at the Burdoin Fire. This is just north of Lisle on the Washington side of the gorge, right across from where the Rowena fire burned. Nearly 8,800 acres have burned so far, and there is no containment. You can see the smoke there, a lot of smoke this morning, and there is fire over those ridges. The flames are spreading. Fire crews tell Katu that one firefighter was injured and taken to the hospital. No word yet on the cause of the fire or how seriously that firefighter's injury was, what happened there. At least 14 homes have been destroyed. 250 more are threatened. Level 1 and 2 evacuations are also in effect. 2 Red Cross emergency shelters are open right now for evacuees. One at Columbia High School in White Salmon. The other is at the Dalles Middle School. In Jefferson County, the Cram fire is now 73% contained. It has burned nearly 96,000 acres. Level 3 go now evacuation orders are still in effect for more than 150 people this morning. Fire crews tell Katu this one was human caused. Now is a good time to refresh yourself with the Ready, Set, Go evacuation system. When you get an alert for a level 1 Be Ready evacuation, that means you should stay informed of dangers in your area. Get a go bag ready, start planning possible evacuation routes, and check in with loved ones and neighbors. Level 2, Get Set, means the danger level in your area is significant and you should be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Be alert, watch for updates from emergency responders. If your area is under a level 3 Go Now alert, you should leave immediately. That's what's happening in Klickitat County right now. Do not stop to pack belongings or try to protect your home. This means there is extreme danger to your safety.
Evacuations are a very difficult thing to do. It's not just get in your car and leave. And I say that because a lot of people don't realize that. And so, again, the Ready, Set, Go is very important. And I had a lady on the Lewis River tell me that if I said ready, that's her go, because she has a number of horses. And so it's going to require several trips for her to evacuate those horses. And that's tremendous thinking.
If you choose not to leave, that is your choice, of course. However, you should know that first responders may not be able to come and help you if you need it. You also don't need to wait for a go now alert to leave. If you feel unsafe, go ahead and evacuate. Your go bag should have enough supplies for at least 72 hours, including vital medications and any important paperwork. You can sign up for emergency alerts with your county and county emergency management offices, and emergency services like fire departments and sheriff's offices also often post updates on social media. Oregon's fire season is now kicking into high gear. So how does this fire season so far stack up to last year's record fire season? K2's Joe English is here in the studio with more on that. Even with all these recent fires, we're so busy this morning. There is some good news, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of a twist this time around with at least a little bit of good news. The Oregon Department of Forestry says the number of fires on agency land is higher than last year at this time with the acres burned. The acres burned, though, much lower. So that's the good news. The agency says that's because of the hard work and the readiness of firefighters on the ground. Now, ODF says conditions very similar to last year, and fire danger still high around most of the state. Last year was a record setter with 1.9 million acres burned. ODF says 479 fires have burned 4,295 acres on agency protected land so far this year. But that's a far cry from the 85,000 acres that burned from the 317 fires on ODF land this time last year. An ODF spokesperson says the lower number of acres burned is thanks to that hard work of firefighters.
That is truly a testament to our ODF firefighters and their work in initial attack.
Northwest Interagency Coordination Center report estimates the cost of large fires statewide this year is about $65 million so far. A large fire is a fire that burns 100 acres of timber or 300 acres of grass. Now, according to the report, approximately 130,000 acres have burned so far. ODF says they have spent $44 million on wildfires this year, and the agencies, they point out the net cost is $20 million, and what that means is $24 million will need to be reimbursed by the federal or state government.
All right, let's talk about how the fires started. That's always a question, a concern. As soon as one sparks, like the one in the gorge right now, everyone speculates.
Right.
Do we know how the numbers stack up as far as causes?
Well, there's a lot of investigating still to do on a number of fires to compare them to last year, but let's go back to that interagency report and the large fires. Out of the large fires we've seen this year, 7 fires started by humans, 7 still under investigation. Now, when you start saying it's human caused, that could be an accident, could be somebody setting it on purpose, but the rest of those are lightning caused fires, and we can't do anything about that except get on the ground and fight the fire.
And that's a really important clarification. When we say human caused, we don't mean someone's out there with a match, like starting it on purpose. It essentially means anything that's not caused by nature, by lightning. So, and we see that all the time.
And ODF says one of their things this year that's been improving is that they've really made an attack. Their initial attack is to keep a fire at 10 acres or less, and they've been fairly successful at that.
Yeah, they've been working their butts off. They've done a great job. Joe, thank you. Stick with K2 for continuing coverage on the 2025 wildfire season. When we're not on the air, you can always find updates at katu.com, our social media pages, or by downloading the K2 News app. It is free in your app store.